Alright, Voterize here, and we're going to go over the 2017 elections. Let's go to the election year breakdown. A lot of people don't realize there's elections every single year happening, not just the presidential elections. So, I created a chart, and here it is. It's the presidential election. We saw it 2016. We saw Trump, we saw Hillary Clinton, and also included in that was a number of national candidates, U.S. Congress, U.S. Senate, Utah State Senate, Utah State House, and a number of different local elections. These presidential elections are also called the general elections because they have the largest voter turnout and are the most well-known elections in America. And now we have the 2017 elections, called the off-year elections. During odd years, municipal elections are up for voting. And then in 2018, we have the midterm elections, which is sandwiched right between the two presidential elections. So this is in 2018. And in 2018, we will see a number of national and state candidates run, as well as a number of local and other municipal races. 2019 is much like 2017. It's an off-year election, and during these off years, they have municipal elections, so local elections. And 2020, the big election we'll have moving forward, the next presidential election. So, for right now, let's talk about municipal races, because that's really what's most important. If you didn't know already, municipal equals local elections. When you hear the word municipal, think local elections. In fact, local elections are even more important than national elections because they affect you on a daily basis. From your roads, to your garbage, to your bills, everything. But seriously, it's so much easier to make change on the local level than it is national. Think about this. If I want to make minimum wage start at $15, I could talk to 500 to 2,000 voters here on the local level and get someone in office that's going to pass that. Whereas if I was on the national level, I would have to talk to millions of people to get them involved. So you see the difference? A couple thousand versus a couple million. And it's such a great starting point. If you want to run for office, municipal races are the place to start. It's also a great place to be if you want to start working on campaigns and learning. You need to show up because guess who does show up? On average, the people that show up during off-year elections happen to be predominantly white, very well educated, wealthier, and older. And when it comes to diversity and it comes to young people, they don't necessarily represent our values. And that's why it's important for us to show up to vote. Because get this, the largest voting bloc in the state of Utah are individuals 18 to 35. That's 27% of the voting population. The next is baby boomers at 23%. So what does this mean? It means if every single young person in Utah turned out to vote, we would literally control the state political system. How powerful is that? And on average, only 33 to 35% of Utahns actually turn out to vote in these off-year elections. That means it's a prime opportunity to take advantage of the state and bring it back to the young people because, hey, we're the largest population. Now let's just get the representation. Local elections include a variety of different candidates, and not every single county in the state of Utah is the same. Different races are run at different times, but overall, the candidates that represent municipal races are mayoral candidates, council candidates, and a variety of different board candidates. So what's the mayor do actually? You know, the mayor's like the spokesperson of your city, your town, your county. They go to ceremonies, they cut ribbons, they are the poster child for your community. And they have some really important jobs. They're over housing, police, the fire department, transportation, education, and the mayors have a relationship with the council members. And it can be different depending on what county you live in or what city you live in or population size. So what's a council candidate? Because that can be really confusing sometimes. If we break it down, there's about 3 different council members that we can lay out. The county council, which is over the county and split into different districts. And then you have the city council, which is over the city and also split into different districts. Then you have the at-large council seats. These seats represent individuals who represent multiple districts. So if the county is split into 5 districts, the at-large county council member would represent all 5 districts. Their perspective is more broad and really encompasses the entire community instead of just 1 or 2 districts. That's why they're called at-large. Council member positions are anywhere from 2 to 6 years. Overall, the council members share very similar roles, and they serve as the legislative branch of their community, which really just means they make laws. Another job is to oversee the finances and strategic planning. And most importantly, they have to understand the goals of their community and what projects are going on, because they have to work with the infrastructure improvements and really create a space that their constituents are happy with. And if you're unsure about the word constituent, really what it means is the people that live in the communities that the politicians represent. So if I vote for City Council 1, I am their constituent because I voted for them and I live in their community. Next, we have board candidates. These are pretty basic, so Parks and Recreation, the Water Department, Improvement Department. So you want people that are organized and really understand what's going on currently in our counties and our cities so that we can make effective change. So now let's get into the district breakdown of the different elections. During off-year elections, each county clerk's office, so each county, is in charge of its own elections. During the midterm elections and general elections, when you have state and national candidates running, you have the lieutenant governor's office that works hand in hand with the different counties. We also have this really interesting election coming up. It's called a special election. Basically, Jason Chaffetz lives in DC and represents the city of Utah as a congressman. He decided he wanted to leave his job early and quit to go work for Fox News. Okay, sounds good, Jason. So now we have a new election coming up in 2017 because we have to replace him ASAP. Typically, his election would be up for grabs in 2018. So in Utah, we have 4 different congressional districts. When you run for Congress here in Utah and you win, you move to DC and you work on the national level. So you're pretty much the bridge between what's happening in DC and what's happening here in Utah. So as you can see, there's 4 different boundaries. Jason Chaffetz is in District 3. Which means we will have a special election for District 3. But this special election is only open to individuals that live in that District 3. So if I live in District 1, I cannot vote in the special election, but I can vote in municipal races. Alright, that's an overview of what's happening in this 2017 election. Stay tuned for more videos and more information. Talk to you later, bye.